After waiting for a long time for an update about Stranger Things Season 5, we're now here, ready to deliver the hottest and juiciest news in town. I know you are super excited about it, and we promise that you won't believe it because what's been happening behind the scenes of Netflix Stranger Things is just as wild as what's happening in Hawkins. And you know how huge Stranger Things is, right? It's a global phenomenon, and everyone has been tapping their fingers waiting for the 5th and final season. But why is Season 5 taking longer than expected? Is the writer's strike and actor strike over? What is the exact date of the final season's premiere? No worries, because in this video, we're going to answer these mysteries. We will also discuss why, after all the delays in the most awaited final season, we are receiving good news this October. And if you watch this video until the end, you will be shocked by what could happen to our beloved Stranger Things actors if one of the biggest monsters that stopped Netflix from filming Season 5 did not get what it wanted. So keep watching. Stranger Things Season 5 gets an exciting update amid a deal to end the writer's strike. The real world Vecna. While the gang from Hawkins is fighting Vecna, Netflix and Hollywood are facing two different monsters. You see, 148 days ago, the world of Hollywood turned upside down. The brilliant minds behind our TV shows and movies, the writers, said, enough's enough, and demanded a fair salary increase. But before the writer's strike declaration, in one interview, David Harbour spilled the beans that they would start filming in June of 2024. Everyone who heard it got excited as hell. Also, in a podcast, the Stranger Things creator, the Duffer Brothers, mentioned that the waiting time between seasons 4 and 5 wouldn't be as long as the gap between seasons 3 and 4. And again, there's always a big but. Hollywood had its own monsters to fight. And while fans were eating their waffles, the writers of Netflix's Stranger Things, along with the rest of Hollywood, put down their pens in support of the strike. During this intense standoff, the masterminds, Matt and Ross Duffer, made an announcement on Platform X saying, "Writing doesn't stop when filming begins. While we're eager to start production with our fantastic cast and crew, it's not feasible during this strike. We hope a fair deal is reached soon so we can all return to work. Until then, over and out." Now, I know you want to hear this. So fast forward to September 27th. The writers declared, game over. The Writers Guild of America essentially gave the green light, and the writers could immerse themselves once again in the magic of storytelling. The Writers Guild ensured that any striking writer who, before the strike period, was employed by a company on a project or show shall be returned to such employment upon the termination of the strike, providing that writing services continued to be performed for the show. The moment the all-clear announcement was made, the official Stranger Things writers' room couldn't contain their excitement and dropped a bombshell on Platform X by saying, "We're back." But just because the pens are back in action doesn't mean the cameras are rolling yet. Why? Well, you won't believe it because the actors union, SAG-AFTRA, is causing waves. They are expanding their strike to include not just TV and film, but also video games and stunts. Now, even if this expansion doesn't directly affect Stranger Things, it hints that these actors aren't hanging up their picket signs anytime soon. But more on this later. For now, let's talk about Stranger Things finale will be a blockbuster. Shawn Levy, the mastermind producer behind the movies, Night at the Museum, Real Steel, and currently directing Deadpool 3, said, "Stranger Things is a major cinematic storytelling that happens to be called a TV series. Stranger Things 5 is as big as any of the biggest movies that we see. As we know it all, our beloved Upside Down is calling us for one last time. It's bringing back Vecna from that heart-stopping Season 4 finale and shifting the spotlight back onto Will." But David Harbour, our very own Hopper, swung into a podcast and painted an even clearer picture. On the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, he shared, "I'm excited to really swing with this character because you know they're going to pay off those OG characters. 11, Hopper, Joyce, Will, Mike. They're going to pay them off in big ways because they've lived with you for the past 8 years." Additionally, Finn Wolfhard leaned back in a recent chat and spoke about the final season. "I think it answers an insane amount of questions about the lore of Stranger Things, the world building. It's the last season, so we kind of want to get back to the roots of why the show was so special in the first place." Wolfhard continued, emphasizing his excitement. "I'm excited, obviously, to go back and shoot it. I think it's going to be very sad, but I'm also just excited, as a fan, to get into it, and I'm excited to see where everyone, I don't even know how it ends yet, truly. I've only read the first 3 episodes, so we'll see. Stranger Things writers reveal what will happen if actors' strike doesn't end. The Stranger Things squad was thrown into the upside down when the WGA put the brakes on Hollywood with their strike, right? But again, the good news is the writer's strike is over, and they kicked that door down and got back to their desks, starting to write Season 5's suspense. And remember earlier, we talked about the actors' strike? How SAG is now leaving half of Hollywood frozen in time, like Eleven using her powers? It was a suspenseful cliffhanger at the end of a thrilling episode, holding Hollywood by its collar and making us wonder, what's next? Well, amidst the chaos, the creative minds behind Stranger Things had a light bulb moment. What if they teased a world where SAG-AFTRA doesn't reach an agreement, and suddenly our beloved actors like Eleven, Mike, and Joyce, brilliantly played by Millie Bobby Brown, David Harbour, Winona Ryder, and the fantastic crew, get replaced by CGI? The writing wizards dangled this intriguing possibility right before us, giving a sneak peek on their official X account, Stranger Writers. Posting a hilarious CGI of Joe Keery's iconic Steve Harrington, they captioned it, "Hope the studios make a fair deal with SAG soon, or else Season 5 is looking like this." After this, they clarified that this previs is just a fun draft for scenes bursting with action or VFX, easing our racing hearts a bit. And taking a step back from the CGI realm, Joe Keery, our beloved Steve, poured out his heart about the show ending after its 5th and final ride, saying to Women's Wear Daily, "It does feel like it's time. It won't be easy for it to end," reminiscing about how Stranger Things sculpted his career. Furthermore, regarding the SAG-AFTRA strike, Variety recently swooped in with some piping hot news. They reported that Netflix isn't ready to let the Demogorgons have the last laugh. The streaming giant has decided Stranger Things is the thing. They're pushing Season 5 up the priority ladder, aiming to get it back on the screen before anything else. And that news spells we are so close to getting that fresh dose of supernatural drama. So, if the stars align and the SAG-AFTRA strike dissolves, the cameras might start rolling in late 2024. And with David Harbour hinting that the shooting and editing will span a year, we might be looking at wrapping things up by late 2025. Adding chocolates to our waffles, Stranger News, a trusted source of news about Stranger Things, shared a mind-blowing poster of Will Byers with the caption, "The end is coming, 2025. But honestly, when will the SAG-AFTRA strike end for Stranger Things to start filming? You see, while our writers are ready to bring stories to life, the actors are still battling it out. On October 6, 2023, the SAG-AFTRA team, along with the AMPTP, the company responsible for negotiations in the entertainment industry, sat across the table from top executives of Titan companies in media, including Warner Brothers, Disney, Netflix, and others to negotiate. Now, here's a hopeful spin. If the production studios manage to work things out with the writers, there's a big chance they'll extend an olive branch to the actors too. And let's face it, actors probably miss their craft just as much as we miss seeing them in action. With actors eager to slip back into their roles and the studios having tasted compromise with the WGA, the scales tip towards them finding common ground with the SAG. And in our dream scenario, the actors' strike wraps up soon. Then, the early whispers of your year bring with them the sweet, sweet sounds of action.
Action.
As Stranger Things Season 5 kickstarts its production. After learning about this delay, fans on the internet went wild, and some of them said, "I just watched all 4 seasons over 3 days. Wow, amazing. I'm so glad I didn't start watching it back in 2016. It would have been torturous waiting for the next batch." And someone literally said, "I work on the set. Max is going to die. Bye." Well, we hope that he's lying, right? Because if not, all the Stranger Things fans are gonna be heartbroken. But whatever happens in the final season, the Stranger Things saga will continue, from stage play to anime adaptation. Yes, anime adaptation featuring our favorite gang. How exciting is that, right? So, if you want to know more about the latest and hottest updates about this shocking expansion of our favorite show, click this video right here.